Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWUS. Continuing on with the final game of the NBA play-in tournament, Kings Pelicans. So far, I got off to a rough start. My biggest bet on the opening night on Tuesday night was Kings +3, and that hit. But my other three smaller bets that night lost. So overall finished down a few dollars on Tuesday night. But I got it back and then some on Wednesday night. Bulls -3 was a full unit. That was nice. And I split in the Heat game. I got greedy with the money line. I should have just put all of my wager on taking the points. Got greedy. But so yeah, we're slightly in the green to start this NBA postseason. 3-1 against the spread. Gotta love it. So like I said, Kings at Pellies. Winner of this game gets the 8 seed, gets to play Oklahoma City. Let's do it.
Welcome to the SWUS. The SWUS. SWUS. Hey, get the SWUS.
All right, Sacramento at New Orleans. Pellies catching 1.5 points at home. Total sitting at 212. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we should see a 3-point Pellies win. Final score 113-110 New Orleans. Injuries and inactives, and we'll start with the Kings. Still no Malik Monk. Malik Monk has been ruled out. I still think he's a week or two away, I believe. But we definitely know he's not playing in this one, which is all that matters for this video. On the New Orleans side, I'm sure you've heard Zion Williamson done for the year. He's obviously not playing in this game. Other than that, the Pelicans are at full strength, though. Check that. So I just said Zion Williamson done for the year. I was just fact-checked, and apparently he's going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks. So I guess it's possible, if New Orleans is still alive, survives the first round, that he could return. But I think we know in all likelihood he's done for the year. Betting trends on the Kings side. Sacramento is now 5-2 against the spread in their last 7. 8-4 against the spread on the road since the All-Star break. And they've been trending heavily towards unders. Kings are 1-6 to the under in their last 7. They're also 1-6 to the under in their last 7 on the road. So Kings have been covering, and the under's been cashing in Sacramento games. On the New Orleans side, Pellies are just 4-9 against the spread in their last 13, including 6 straight home losses. 0-6 straight up in their last 6 at home. 4-10 against the spread in their last 14 at home. Some ugly looking trends there for the Pellies. The good news for New Orleans is they've handled their business against this Kings team. They've actually played the Kings 5 times this year because they played them once in the play-in tournament. They're 5-0. Pelicans are 5-0 straight up and 5-0 against the spread against the Kings this year. So this New Orleans team has definitely been a problem for Sacramento so far this year. You could see 3 of the games were on the road in Sacramento, 2 of them at home in New Orleans. Spread across the season. Played them a couple times back in November, just played them recently in April. Pelicans have handled the Kings so far this year. So let's match these two teams up on the court. We'll start with some net efficiency numbers in the last 10 games, and no question Sacramento's playing better basketball here. And this is kind of what I was saying the other night in the Kings-Warriors breakdown. There's this narrative that the Kings are playing like shit entering this postseason, and I just completely disagree. Sacramento's 8th in overall efficiency with the 3rd strongest schedule in the last 10 games. So they're playing solid basketball against a really strong schedule. I mean, if you look at the teams they played, the team played an insane schedule. Yeah, they lost a few games. I mean, everyone was like, Kings are trash, they're done. Man, they played on the road at Oklahoma City, on the road in Boston. They played the Pelicans. They played the Suns. They played 4 of the 5 top seeds in the West, and they played the 1 and 2 seed in the East on the road in like an 8-game stretch. Obviously, they're going to lose some games. So that was my main reason for betting the Kings against the Warriors, is that they're insanely undervalued. So speaking of the Warriors, why don't we take a closer look at that game? How did Sacramento beat Golden State? Well, they protected the basketball, and they were active on the offensive glass. Only 8 turnovers on the game. 8. That's very solid. 15 offensive rebounds. Here's the thing. I don't know if they're going to have that same success here against New Orleans. Pelicans in the last 10 games, 6th in defensive rebounding rate, 3rd in defensive turnover rate. So this is a Pelicans defense that keeps you off the offensive glass and forces turnovers. And I'm not worried about the Pelicans defense without Zion. It's the Pelicans offense that I think is going to be a little limited. You can see numbers with Zion and without Zion this season. Winning percentage is about the same. They average a couple less points per game, so the offense isn't quite as efficient, but they give up 3 less points a game defensively. So the defense has actually allowed less points per game without Zion on the floor. I expect the Pelicans defense to show up on the interior, and I expect Sacramento to struggle to do those 2 things they did against the Warriors: protect the ball and grab offensive rebounds. But here's what worries me about the Pelicans defense: 3-point shooting. Sacramento just went off against Golden State from the three-point line, 18 of 39, 46.2% as a team. And I said that in the video. I said I expected Sacramento to get the three ball working against the Warriors because Golden State's defense had been pretty average against a three-point shot. They were like 16th and 17th against the above the break three. But the Pelicans have been even worse than that. In fact, they've been terrible. In the last 10 games, Pelicans might have the worst three-point defense in basketball. 30th in frequency, 26th in efficiency against the above-the-break three. So this Kings team hit 18 threes on 46% against the Warriors. What are they going to do against this Pelicans defense who's playing as poor defense against a three-point shot than anyone else in the NBA right now? We just saw the Lakers shoot 40% from three on the Pelicans, and the Lakers aren't even a three-point shooting team like that. The Lakers went 14 of 35 from outside in that game. So I do not know how we can expect New Orleans defense to stop the three ball from killing him here against the Kings offense. Now, you might look at the other side and say, hey, New Orleans is going to do the same thing right back to the Kings. And if you look at the numbers in the last 5 games, the Pelicans have been shooting the three ball well. In fact, they're a top 5 three-point shooting team in the last 5 games. And the three-point shot has been the weakest part of the Kings defense all season. But we saw how ugly that Pelicans offense looked last game. The three-point shot stopped falling in the second quarter, and they couldn't do anything until pretty much halfway through the fourth quarter. This is against the Lakers, who have a terrible three-point defense. On Tuesday night, the Pelicans were just 9 of 30 from outside, just 30% from three against a Lakers defense that had been struggling to defend the three-point shot. And now, without Zion Williamson on the floor to collapse the Kings defense, Sacramento should be able to put even more pressure on the perimeter and guard the three ball. And yeah, the three-point shot has been the weak spot of this Kings defense for pretty much this whole season, but they were able to lock down Golden State's outside shooting the other night. Golden State just 10 of 32 from outside, 31.3%. If the Kings defense were able to hold Golden State to that, then the Pelicans offense with no Zion Williamson attacking the rim to collapse the defense shouldn't be a problem at all, which is why I got to go with the Kings here. Valanciunas may be a bit of a problem. The Kings they play good interior defense, but they've struggled with good offensive centers. So Valanciunas may be a little bit of a problem, but there's just not enough about the Pelicans offense without Zion Williamson that worries me. Kings should definitely have the three-point shot working in this game. Sacramento takes it. Give me the Kings -1.5. I actually think I got the money line at -118 is what I bet. So yeah, I'm on the Kings here. If you want my top bets for NBA and MLB or the top bets of our whole staff, it's all posted on KyleKirms.com. There's also a link to join the Discord right on the homepage if you're interested. So check it out if you want. Let's have ourselves a good Friday. We got a big weekend ahead of us. NBA playoffs officially starting. Remember, I keep saying this over and over again. The NBA playoffs are almost 2 months long, about a month and a half long. So this is a marathon, not a sprint. Bet responsibly. Talk to you in the Discord.